Most likely, you've encountered most of or all of the following situations. At the end of the day, you realized that you were active all day, you got lots of items completed, just not those items that you actually wanted to get done on that particular day. Or possibly you feel that all you would need for a particular important task is 30 minutes without an interruption. But rather rarely do you have those 30 minutes without the phone ringing, without an email interrupting you, or somebody interrupting you personally. On average, people are interrupted every 11 minutes. Now, some people go, well, I'd really like to have 11 minutes without an interruption. That sounds like luxury in itself. Another statement that participants in my live events tend to make more and more frequently is that they feel that the demands have increased over the last few years. Most people find it increasingly difficult to meet everybody's demands, internal demands, external demands on their day-to-day job, working on projects in parallel, and juggling all the demands that other people have towards them. And another trend that I'm sure you're aware of is that the amount of information has dramatically increased over the last few years and probably will continue to increase. The amount of information that comes at people through email or physically lands on their desk has definitely increased very, very significantly over the last few years. And those trends and statements that I hear increasingly are certainly not a reason to give up, but rather some very, very interesting challenges that I plan to give you some very, very concrete tips and concrete suggestions and solutions in order to deal with things that we can't change more easily, more effectively, and more efficiently. So before we get into tips, details, suggestions, solutions, recommendations, etc., who am I anyhow? Who is this guy with this American accent from this German company? My name is Zach Davis. I was born in the US, in Philadelphia to be precise, and moved to Germany when I was 3 years old, so I wasn't quite as self-dependent as I believe to be today with my decision-making processes. And I spent a long time living in the Cologne-Bonn area in Germany until the end of my studies. I studied business administration at the University of Cologne. After that was in the year 2000, I moved further south within Germany to Munich, spent a few years working with a consulting company with KPMG Consulting, and worked in the area of human resources development, human resources consulting, and management. After that, that was in 2003, after a few years with KPMG, I decided to start my own business and founded a small company, a training institute in the area of Munich, somewhat south of Munich, so I've moved further and further south within Germany. And since then, I've been literally and figuratively on the road as a trainer, speaker, author, specialized in the area of personal effectiveness. So I don't do 400 different topics. I'm specialized in increasing people's personal effectiveness. And that doesn't mean that I know everything, and certainly not that I know everything better. But I have the opportunity, I find quite unique privilege to look into various different industries, to see people in different functions at different levels, and to some extent look into the head, figuratively speaking, of very many individual people. And the interesting thing is that of course, some challenges are industry specific or function specific or level specific or person specific. But a lot of challenges are very, very similar, even if people often find that their particular challenges in that particular industry or functional area are very unique. I take that seriously, but the benefit is that after a while you see certain patterns, and I think you will benefit from some of the patterns I've been able to see, and I will give you some very, very concrete tips that will help you increase your productivity and decrease your level of stress.